Hello, welcome to Should I Buy This Game featuring Everdell. My name is Christine, and in this video I will give a brief description on how the game is played and then share a few things I liked and disliked about the game to help you decide if you would like to buy Everdell. Within the charming valley of Everdell, beneath the boughs of towering trees, among meandering streams and mossy hollows, a civilization of forest critters is thriving and expanding. To play Everdell, you're basically using your workers to gather the resources needed to acquire critter and construction cards. Your goal is to have 15 cards by the end of the game. I'm just going to show you how the cards are made up. So first here are the resources you need to acquire the card. So it's a resin and a pebble. Down here is how much the card is worth at the end of the game. You automatically receive one resin. This is referred to as a common construction, and there's also unique construction cards. And when you play this, you have the opportunity to play the chip sweep for free onto the resin refinery. And then during spring and autumn, these cards get activated once again at the change of the season, and at that point you will gain a resin yet again. And some cards have during game bonuses, some cards have game end bonuses. They all work a little differently, but that's the general idea of the makeup of a card. So now I'm just going to share some of my thoughts about the game. The game took us 2 players, just under an hour to play, so it didn't take that long. And some of the things we like is, of course, the artwork on the cards is just beautiful. We also like the resources, the little pebbles, you can hear them. The berries are sort of rubbery, and then the resin is nice and shiny. And then the other thing we like is how the cards work. So as I mentioned briefly before about the animals, so with the palace, I'm able to play the queen for free. And the queen is worth 5 berries and 4 points. So if you're able to do it in the correct order, get the palace first with these resources that will take you a little bit of time, especially at the beginning of the game, to gather, then you can really score by getting a queen if she comes up. Without paying the 5 berries. So that's one way how the cards work. Another one is, for example, is the dungeon. The dungeon is if I put a critter that's already laid out into my hand. So for this game, I had the Wanderer, and the Wanderer is only worth 1 point. So I decided to put the Wanderer into the dungeon. That then allowed me to play a construction or a critter for 3 resources less. So there's a lot of cards that have little bits like that to help you really build up your 15 card deck a lot quicker without having to pay all the resources on all 15 of the cards. So we really enjoy that feature as well. One last thing we want to mention that we really enjoy about the game is the end of game bonuses. So if you happen to have an extra little worker, and you have 3 of the scrolls or 3 of the paw prints, you can use your worker to place it here, and then you will get 3 end of game points. And there's 2 others on the other side for the other types of cards. Then when we go down to the journey, it's one other place where you can get end of game scoring. With any excess cards in your hand, you have to have a worker though. You can discard the number of cards for that number of points. It's only 1 worker per, except number 2, multiple people can have 2 points there. Now, a couple of things we'd like possibly changed of the game, or that we don't like as much. The first is the special event cards. I'll bring one here. These cards, you need a specific critter and construction. And a lot of times these critters and constructions don't work together. And so it's really hard to get this combination in your hand, especially when you only get 15 cards in total. And then if you do actually become able to do it and get the card, the next thing is you don't actually get points. You have to then do something else. So here it's you can donate up to 3 resources to your opponents. And if you do, then you get 2 points. So even getting the special events doesn't mean you get rewards. You just get another way, and you have to have a worker on it to get the rewards. So we find the special event cards are very hard and not necessarily beneficial to us. And one last thing is we find that in the first 2 seasons, you have very limited workers, that it's very hard to get the resources you need. And so those first 2 seasons, you're basically getting your resources and ending, maybe playing 1 or 2 cards. And it's not until season 3 or 4 that it all comes together and works out. But the first 2 seasons, I wish we had more workers to start building it up sooner so you can plan more in advance. And just one more thing, I just want to let you know that these little containers here do not come with the game. I bought them from a third party, and I like to use them to hold all the little resources. I think they're cute, but they do not actually come with the game. So that is Everdell. Let me know in the comments if you've played Everdell, if you want to. It's very popular. It's been around for a while. And what you think of the game.